what we are doing is connected economies, competitive industries. Why connected economies? Because we believe that we are in this context of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and we need to enable trade and recognize that we as Zimbabwe are part of a wide network of other economies, and it's important that we be intentional about this connectedness and be deliberate about connecting with other economies for our own development. And in this regard, as ZITF, we hope to foster borderless regional market trades or trade across regional markets, to take advantage of integrated supply chain and international niche products that we produce as Zimbabwe, to connect to markets, to connect to suppliers of technology that would improve what we do in Zimbabwe. Why competitive industries? Because we believe our innovation should lead production and scalability. Why competitive industries? Because technology and skills are critical to achieving competitiveness, and Zimbabwe is well endowed with much skill. We can do better with technology, but we have a bedrock of skills that we can leverage off as a country to do great things and include the many myriads of Zimbabweans who are aspiring for a better life and a better tomorrow. Why competitive industries? Because, as has been center stage for the last few years, value-added industrialization has been key. So the ZITF 2026 platform, honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, is where policy meets private sector players, where academia meets with private sector, where academia meets with public sector. This is a nexus, a rich exchange of attributes and viewpoints and perspectives that allow us to develop and to springboard or leapfrog to that place that we aspire to be a middle-income economy by 2030, and to allow for us as Africans to assert our place in the global landscape. The theme for this morning's meeting is from policy to production and leveraging from economic empowerment for accelerated rural industrialization. Africa's development, and I quote from the former president of Tanzania, Julius Nyerere, who said, Africa's development will be shaped by what happens in the villages. So this moment gives us an opportunity as Zimbabweans, most of us city dwellers, to think inclusively about what's happening in the villages, where some of us came from, some of us still live there. How do we improve? It's wonderful to have great cities where development is taking place, but how do we bring economic empowerment and industrialization, into the villages? This speaks of three things. Number one, linking rural activity to markets, financing the activities in rural areas. Number three, bringing scale to what is done in rural areas. I will now turn in conclusion to point to our meeting at ZITF this year. We have a total of 775 exhibitors that are exhibiting this year, and a total of 49 foreign exhibitors that are taking part, with 31 countries up from last year that are taking part. I would encourage delegates to please traverse